You ought to learn how to do this and make some money doing it. You know that Danny was talking about sending all of his buses over for us to do this.
Oh, really? That'd be awesome.
You okay?
Yeah, got the cap.
Is that thing okay?
Yeah. It's kind of loose.
Yeah, but does it lock though?
Yeah, it locks.
Nice.
Next.
This is a thing you could do if you got good at it. You'd be make extra money. It applies to trucks too.
That's right.
Okay, here we go. Engine. Fuel filters. Okay, this is how we check fuel filters. First of all, we look at them. And they appear to be okay. I don't see anything. But we have to make a test. That's how we make the test. If you want the buses to run good, you want to make sure that the fuel pressure is right. A lot of people change fuel filters all the time when they don't really need to. If they inspected them regularly, then they would save a lot of money. What we do is we put the gauge in here. Okay. Then you start the bus.
Oops. Note to self, replace that switch. Was the run switch still on?
You know, it's funny when you get the newer buses, when you start working on them, you learn their characteristics too. It takes a while.
So what happened to this?
It was just out of gear.
Don't replace the switch.
Well found. Okay, found. We're running all the way. This bus does not pass. Most people would say, well, what do you mean? It runs good.
What's it supposed to be?
This bus has a problem. And the reason is this fuel pressure should be about 40 to 50 pounds. You see how it started drawing down?
Yeah.
It's got a suction problem or it's plugged up. So what we're going to do, we're going to write this up for fuel pressure. I got this little back page filled in already. Now, a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people, they'll argue, well, it runs good. Well, it may run good, but it's... We got to know why that's doing that.
So how much pressure should it have when it's running at a high idle?
About 10, 12 pounds. But running it should be about 40, 50. And it should not, cause see how it started to come down?
Yeah.
That's telling me it's got a problem. This is the reason why my buses run so good, because I watch stuff like this. This will make a difference how a bus performs. Okay. That's why these inspection things are so vital. If you're going to run a bus, as George Pell used to say, the secret to maintenance is inspections, inspections, inspections.
We were going to replace these with spin-ons too anyway, right?
That's right. We're going to do that. In fact, we're going to write that up. We're going to write this 2 spin-ons. Okay. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. Now, they're asked me to check antifreeze, and that's kind of hard to do. Normally, I make sure that here in California we can get away with it. We keep adding antifreeze when we need water, or whatever, if it's low. But when we do a change, when engine work or anything, we drain it. We always go back to 8 gallons. But So I'm going to see that's right.
Is it like half and half, or?
Well, we use 8 gallons of full antifreeze, the green antifreeze. That's what we use. Now they do offer it in half, and everybody had to. Here in California, I've always found that 8 gallons of full antifreeze always works.
What's the capacity of the system on these buses?
Oh, these things are about 28 gallons.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because everything's just the engine. It's not just the engine.
Right.
It's the heater. Heater and the defroster all the way. You got 40 feet up there.
Yep.
That's why sometimes it's very hard to make a change with these because.
Look, just be happy.
It's going to go wrong. It's going to go wrong.
Just be happy it didn't go behind this.
You see, that's what being a mechanic's all about. Everything goes wrong, and you're supposed to fix it.
Always a problem.
Well, if it wasn't for that, we'd be broke.
Exactly.
That's this right here is very, very important if you want a bus to perform well.
The motor cleaned up pretty
Now
good.
the bus runs fine. Remember we drove it?
Yeah, we drove it.
But
Rocket ship.
it isn't 100%.
That's amazing because it runs great.
And most
So,
people,
does it have anything to do with its starting problem? You know how it starts and stalls out?
well, that's another problem we're going to check. That could be related to this. The problem of when they start and they stall.
Because I couldn't start it the first 2 times, but then I went back and tried it again and it worked.
All right.
After a few
I'll
minutes.
show you. Right here is the fuel return. And there is a restriction right here. And this fuel return goes down. Okay, see where my hand is behind here?
Yeah.
There's a check valve. And if that check valve gets bad, it'll do what we're doing. And we'll be testing it. What happens, the check valve holds pressure to the engine. And when it sits and they get old, they start bleeding, and a little bit goes back to the fuel tank, and they create a pocket of air.
Oh, that's probably what's happening.
All right, emergency shutdown. I'm gonna trip it. That's gonna be this right.
That.
Yeah, right here. Yeah. And I'm gonna go up front, turn on. You tell me if it trips.
Okay. Watch this. He's on the phone. Christmas hands. No! Nothing. No. So you just jump and run.
Didn't trip, did it?
Oh.
Huh?
Uh-uh.
Did it trip?
No, because this will pop out. This goes
Okay,
in, right?
It didn't work. Okay.
Because it pops that butterfly shut,
Yeah,
right?
It'll trip the butterfly. So let's write that up.
Oh, wow. Making a list.
Okay, now let's see here. Okay, you want us to check the radiator fins. And normally what I'll do is I just look here and take a look, see if I see anything unusual. This looks pretty good. I don't see anything unusual.
Might as well write rubber right there.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
almost gone.
Let me write that up too.
Getting ready to tackle the rubber pile here pretty quick.
You know, these buses are new, and you get all the parts, it'd be fine, but I think I gotta do that bus too.
The red one.
You know what's the funny thing is, I've always loved fish bowls, and this always was never at work for me. A lot of guys, oh, well, we have to do so much work. All right, it says fan and shroud, okay? Now on the fan, these first series 5301s and 4106s put the muffler here. And some guys like it and some guys don't, but there were more people who didn't like it. So, and this is one of the reasons. See, and I want to check the fan, everything, it's in the way. See, and I'm going to push that like that. I'm going to look at the housing here, the shroud, and it all looks okay. But you see, if I want to turn the engine over, I can't get in here. So this is in the way, and the mechanics complained about it, and that's why they put it behind the engine on the 5303s.
I remember we tried that when we first got this bus. Couldn't turn the engine over. Couldn't get a wrench in there or anything.
Okay. Okay, check for oil leaks. Now, I don't think I see much in the way of oil leaks on this thing, except the blower tube always leaks. So I'm gonna let this one go. And do you see any hoses? Take a quick look at all the hoses. You see any hoses you think look bad or have a problem?
I mean, some fraying right here on this one.
Let's take a look here.
Right there by the fitting.
Let's see, what do you see?
Right here.
Which one? This one?
This one.
Oh, okay.
The other side.
Well, that's the air to the shutoff. And, okay, if you're rich and you want to spend lots of money, you can change it, but we're not going to do that.
It's
and
okay.
I'll tell you what we're going to do. Hang on a second. I'll make it the water here. Don't bother to change these because it'll show up on the air report. Now, if it leaks, we're going to find out, and that's not essential. So we'll just leave it alone.
Okay.
Just,
That's all I
see
see.
anything else?
No.
I just want to go the hoses on the engine. You know, if you see any that look like they're. But generally speaking, if you got a problem with the hose, it's going to leak. Here's another thing that's very vital to all GM buses. Follow me down the pit. And you sure tell it rained last night.
Oh, man.
Drive lines are very, very important. This my shirt dirty. Okay. And so, what we're going to do is we take the drive line right here. First of all, let me take the handbrake off.
Okay.
This is very, very important. We need to take your hand here and push up and down and look right into here into the U-joints. See if you see any movement at all. Right in here. And in the back too. We're going to lift up and down. That's just slightly is okay. Okay, this one passes. This, on 4905s and highway, if they go bad, they'll knock the transmission out.
Wow.
It says axle housing. So this is the axle housing right here. So we're going to take a look. We want to look right in here for cracks. Sometimes they'll crack right through here. And this is okay. Kitchen trail ones, earlier ones are pretty easy. And this one's okay. And the reason why I know is I look down here, I don't see anything unusual, is because if you have an exhaust problem, it's going to make noise.
Right.
Okay, this is an automatic, so we don't need. Let's look for. It says tranny leaks. See that leak down there from another. That's all right. Transmission air shifter doesn't have one. We're not doing a tune-up.